Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Linda. This is Nepwood at Home. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. So today's video is going to be kind of a haul video. And I know it seems to be what I do a lot of. It's the summertime, and right now is kind of the time where we get a lot of our things that are easy for resale. It's also a good time for just adding to our collections because estate sales are happening, garage sales are happening, people are coming into the shop trying to sell different items. And that's actually gonna be one of the things I'm gonna show you is actually something that we bought through the shop. It doesn't happen terribly often. Usually the owners kind of jump on most things, but if they're not interested, then they let any of us kind of have a chance to get those items. So that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can turn this light because it's actually like blinding me over here. Okay, so that being said, I wanted to share some of our treasures. And so today is the 3rd of August. I don't know when I'm going to be putting this up, but on July 31st was mine and Roger's wedding anniversary. So yay, it's been 2 amazing years. And it kind of has a point, what I'm telling you. So our wedding anniversary is in July, but our actual being together anniversary is in the fall. And anyhow, so that also pertains to what I'm gonna show you. But anyway, so for my anniversary gift from my youngest child. Now, if you've been here for even more than like 2 seconds, you know I love Harry Potter. That's why our anniversary is on Harry Potter's birthday, July 31st. But Jai had this made for me, and she smells like strawberries, and it's delicious. But I love Luna Lovegood. She is my ultimate favorite Harry Potter character. Absolutely love her. And so she got me the Luna Bunny and Ravenclaw dress, of course, because Ravenclaw is also my house. And yeah, I'm so excited to have her. I can't even tell you, it's like kind of silly. And so she's going to be my new art buddy. But isn't she adorable? And if you don't know, Luna's Patronus in the movie and the books is a rabbit or bunny. I was also born in the year of the rabbit, and my mom's South Korean. In Korea, if you look at it, it looks like a rabbit. So rabbits have a lot of special meaning for me, which is also one of the reasons why I like to collect rabbits. Yeah, and then there's also like a folk tale of rabbits in the moon. So it's kind of like this whole Korean vibe thing. But regardless, Luna's my favorite. It just happens to be that her Patronus is a rabbit, and so I love this. It's the sweetest thing ever, and yeah, super cute. And her tummy smells like strawberries, which actually reminds me a lot of the strawberry shortcake dolls when I was a kid, like in the 80s, like the original ones. I think they brought them back because, you know, they've brought back everything from my childhood, which is really weird. So there's that. Then it was like, I think it was the day before. It must have been the 30th, because we actually celebrated our anniversary on the 30th because we were going to be at the shop on the 31st and working that day. So we just went ahead and did everything on Saturday anyway. And so my husband had his eye on this for quite some time, and I was going to try to plug it in for you because it actually works, but I can't because my light's plugged into it. Anyhow, so long story short, he fell in love with this thing. It actually works. It produces so much air circulation. It is insane. When our air conditioner went out a couple weeks ago and it was like 112 in Oklahoma, this thing would have been freaking amazing. But any brouhaha. So we got it for a heck of a good deal because it was actually in the owner's booth at the shop, and she originally wanted $70 for it. It was half off. You do the math. And yeah, these things sell all day long for like $89 and up. But it is a Galaxy barrel fan. It's like seriously the coolest thing ever. It's like actual like metal, like it has like some plastic to it, but it's like a lot of it, like the actual key components of it, can't really put my finger in there. And it does have the finger guard, so you can't poke yourself with that. But, so the important parts are all metal. Very cool. It works a treat. He was very excited to get that. And we thought it had actually sold. So he was very excited that it did not sell. Pardon me while I blow my nose. I am trying to get over a cold. So the baby that I've been babysitting for my friend's little girl, she has had a cold. And their whole family has like COVID tested and blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't worried about COVID. But yeah, so it's like one of those summer colds, which I absolutely hate. I hate summer colds because it just makes my nose run. It makes me extremely tired. And then I'm just kind of like, and I don't want to do anything. So getting up today and putting on my eyebrows to make a video for y'all is pretty much the highlight of my day. I'm just saying. So, okay, so that is that. I do want to show you what Roger got for me from the auction site. Of course, because, you know, y'all are here for the milk glass. I know, it's okay. Because I'm pretty much here for the milk glass too. I should probably start a milk glass anonymous group though, because it's getting bad. Just saying. So these are, let me wipe this off now. This is my Norwex cloth. Because, you know, I love my Norwex. And what else would I possibly use on these? So this is the anchor hawking bubble pattern. And I have some bowls. They're like really shallow bowls. They're like almost like pie plates, kind of. But he found these on the auction group site. And so he got them for me. And there's several. I don't remember how many there were. But they're all filthy, of course. There's 2, 3. And they're in actually really, really good shape, which is exciting because 4. So yeah, there's 4 of these, which is fine because, you know, these are actually in really good shape. This one I just noticed now has a little bit of damage to it, but that's okay. I mean, you know, they're old. And for the most part, they're actually in pretty good shape. So it is what it is. But aren't they cute? I love these. And you know, anything that you can add to your collection that's actually usable is really nice. Then, these are absolutely filthy, I'm just gonna say. The gal that he gets all of his stuff from, well, one of them, I don't know where she gets her stuff, but it's always filthy. So, and I already had these, of course, because it's me. But they were super cheap and cheerful, so there you go. So I got some new vases. This one is like, I mean, can you see that? It's manky. And this one's pretty manky also. I just haven't had time to clean anything because I just haven't. It's been busy. And that's how life is, isn't it? This one is a duplicate, but I only have one, so it's kind of nice. Like, I don't mind having pairs of things, especially if it means, sorry if that's really loud. I didn't unwrap anything. But I don't mind having pairs of things just because if I set something up, like I decided to do something on the mantle, which I still haven't done anything on my mantle. It's still set up for Easter because, yeah, my life. But should I ever get off my arse and actually do anything, pairs are nice. So here's this, and it's an Avon, I believe. Yeah, it's Avon. It's actually marked on the bottom. And so I already have this one. Do I know where I've put it? I think it's in the cabinet. But yeah, so this makes number 2. And I mean, it's nice. So love that. And then my final piece of milk glass that he got. And she always wraps everything very interestingly, I will say, is this. And it's a globe for oil lamp, but look at it. It's got the little atomic stars on it. How cute is that? So exciting. And since I love mid-century everything, he got it for me. Now, I don't think he paid but like 15 bucks for all of it. So, and of course it's here to stay, so it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. because y'all know I don't sell my milk glass. It just lives here forever and ever and ever and ever. Sorry, my forehead. Oh, I did rehenna my hair because the roots were, whoa, what do I say? Whoa. And since I have given up on things like hair dye, which I probably should have like rethought that whole process before I was like, oh, I'm gonna give up hair dye, because yeah, there's no growing old gracefully for me. It's just not a thing. I get that from my mother. So now back to my points that I was making about my anniversary. So wedding anniversary is in July, well, almost August, and then our being together anniversary is in the fall. So a couple weeks ago, there was a gal that called the shop, and she said that she had these dishes for sale and wanted to know if anybody was interested. They belonged to, I think, her mother or grandmother, and she had collected them, and nobody in the family wanted them, and there was 4 daughter-in-laws type of situation. So nobody wanted them, and she wanted to know if anybody was interested, and I said, possibly. She told me what pattern they were. I'd seen the pattern before, so I'm kind of semi-cognizant of what it is, but I wasn't like, ooh, that's super exciting. I was kind of like, I know what that looks like, don't I? Pretty sure. Yeah, I know what that looks like. So I said, sure, if the price is right and they're in good condition, I'd possibly be interested. So long story longer, because you know I'm going to go on. She brought them in to the shop. Now, mind you, I had kind of been in contact with her a couple of times through the weeks. And because I babysit Mila during the week, I just wasn't available any other time other than on Sunday when we were at the shop. So on Sunday, it comes around, I'd kind of half-heartedly thought about this stuff. Didn't really give it a whole lot of thought. Still really wasn't sure. They didn't have a price of what they thought they wanted for everything. They also didn't have a piece count. I mean, there's a lot of things that kind of go into whether or not I'm going to buy a set of dishes. And then I thought, well, the pattern's really pretty, and it's a fall pattern, and I love fall. It's my favorite holiday, my favorite season. And like I said, I was semi-aware of what it was. I kind of looked it up and just thought, oh yeah, that is the pattern I thought it was. Cool. And that was pretty much the extent of it. I didn't really look at prices. I knew we had sold some previously in the shop. One of the other booth owners, she had some. It did not sell for very much. So I was just thinking it was another one of those patterns from the past. Super cute. Well, I think it's cute. But it's one of those patterns that you either love it or you hate it. And it was kind of one of those pain in the ass collections to collect, to be honest. Like, it's one of those dish patterns where you had to have the coupons in order to collect the pieces, and sometimes those can be kind of iffy. Okay, so really hadn't given a whole lot of thought. Sunday, I was like, hadn't heard from her, and then they showed up, and it wasn't one of them, it wasn't 2 of them, it was 3 of them had shown up at the shop, and they had all these boxes, and I was like, oh, okay. So they ended up not bringing the butter dish because that one was visibly damaged. They brought a bunch of other pieces, and some of them are damaged regardless. They just didn't realize how damaged they were, and so I was kind of like, because now what am I going to do with these damaged pieces as well? Like, I could throw them out, or I can use them to make jewelry. Haven't really decided. But it also means that my initial thought when I saw what pattern it was, I went, oh yeah, I like that pattern, was that it could be my dishes, and that I would use them because I love fall, as I mentioned. So didn't really give a whole lot of thought to it. But anyway, they showed up, all these pieces, and I'm like, cause I'm also trying to help bring up customers, and I've got like these boxes of dishes together. So I will just show you, and I'll give you a little bit of a brief history while I'm at it, because I did look that part up after the fact. Okay, so if you are familiar with grocery store coupons from the past for things like atomic dishes, I know a lot of the depression glass dishes were bought, like, you know, you go to a gas station, you bought a bag of, not a bag of flour at a gas station, but you know what I mean, like, so you bought something, you would get like a free dish or whatever. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and there were still grocery stores like Rayleigh's and I think Safeway still did coupons. So you would collect these little coupons and then you could turn them in and get different dishes. Heavenly, oh, I can't think what it's called now, and I have some of them, which is really terrible, but anyway, my brain is like emptying itself as we speak. Anywho, this is kind of the same deal, except it was with a tea company. So, picture this. Sicily, no, I'm just kidding, it's not Sicily. Chicago, 1899, okay? A gentleman by the name of Frank V. Skiff, with a borrowed horse and $700 started a tea company, sort of. So the East India Tea Company was kind of, they were too big for themselves, and so they weren't able to really kind of meet the demands of people living in the outskirts. And so anyway, so he saw a need. And how does it go in iRobots? See a need, fill a need. And that's where he basically found his niche, was he would deliver tea door to door, and he also delivered coffee. And then because he was actually the son of a grocer out of Iowa, he understood what it was to treat customers with respect, ask them for things that you could do to help improve their experience, and that sort of thing. And that's basically what he did. He saw that this other big conglomerate for tea was kind of pissing people off, from what I read. Like, they were leaving tea in warehouses and stuff, and the stuff was getting stale. Now, I don't know if you've ever had stale tea before, but it's not very good. Us Asians and British, we like tea. So, anywho, so that's what he did, is he had his cart and his horse, and he would just deliver tea. And he would also deliver some household items. So he'd ask people, what do you need? What can I do for you? Yada, yada. So anyway, he ends up with a crap ton of happy customers. Word of mouth spreads, and now he's filling this niche, right? He's just delivering his tea. Well, enter the brother-in-law, also named Frank, oddly enough. Apparently Frank's a popular name. But his was Frank P. Ross. Middle initials apparently are important. Anyway, 1901, 1902, 1903, somewhere within that spectrum, the brother-in-law buys into the company, and now they're partners. And they're making their deliveries. Now, the story goes to the effect that Frank P., the brother-in-law, he goes to some lady's house. He's got, he's doing his thing. Hey, I've got some tea. Would you like to buy some tea? I got some coffee, whatever. And apparently the lady had been dealing with another wagon man who had been selling her stuff, and she was saving up all of her coupons for a rug or something. So now she either threatened him with hot water or a broom. Who knows? Doesn't matter. And so he was like, light bulb moment. Why don't we do premiums also? Now, premiums are what they call it, like when you save little coupons. So for every $1 you spend with our company, we will give you a coupon for every $1. And once you save up those coupons, you can go ahead and trade those in for your premium. Makes sense? Makes sense. Clearly it was a successful thing, because if he was, we're talking like 1903, 1904 when they're doing this stuff, right? And then you're talking like, they're selling door to door. I mean, they were still doing coupon groceries things when I was a kid, like in the 80s. So clearly it was, a popular thing. So anyway, this pattern came out in 1933. And Frank V., the original guy, the Skiff guy, he partnered with Hull Pottery, which I'm sure most of us are familiar with. Hull. I say it the same way, so I don't know. I'm confusing myself, but it's Hulls. Anyway, Hull. Anyway, they partner together, and they are the company that he uses to create, in physical form, with the pattern that he gave them, these dishes. Autumn leaves. And yes, they are in fact autumn leaves, but they're also flowers. So I'm confused, but yes, very pretty. And when I looked it up, it said Hull, but now I'm looking on the bottom of the picture, it says Hulls. So now I'm confusing myself again. But regardless, the pattern itself came from the jewel Tea Company. Oh, and that was the name of the company. Did I mention? No, because I'm special. The Jewel Tea Company. Now, everything they called Jewel back in the day was because it was like a great thing, right? So it was a jewel, like a gem. Like, I don't know if we would say that nowadays. Like, oh, he's a gem. She's a jewel. But they did. So, and I guess there's still grocery stores. I saw Jewel Osco was a grocery store that was like a thing. Who knew? So yeah. So anyway, Jewel Tea Company was around until 1981-ish. And these dishes were, like I said, the pattern originally came out in 1933, and they continued making them for a very long time. I did not find an end date for the pattern, so I'm going to do that horrible, horrible thing where I'm going to assume, I know, it's terrible, you should never assume anything, but I'm gonna, that it was probably, they kept on producing pieces and putting them out there as part of their thing. Now, of course, they weren't doing door-to-door sales all the time. They actually moved into catalogs, like catalog sales, kind of like Sears Roebuck did, just because after World War II, the cities and the areas that they were servicing got really, really bustling, very, very busy. Traffic was horrendous. I can only imagine, because the town that we live in, we moved to thinking that, oh my God, it's so cute, it's so great, and now the traffic is absolutely outrageous. And our high school looks like a freaking university campus. So yeah, a lot can change in 5 years. Point being, they were no longer doing the cart and pony thing. They were now like doing catalog sales, but you can still save up your premiums and you can still order your pieces. So this is the picture. It's very cute. I may keep it and use it for display. It does have some wear to it, but it also has, I don't know if you can see it right there. Yeah, you can. See that crack? Lovely. And it goes through both sides of the glaze. So it's an actual decent crack. But, you know, if I stuck some flowers in it, who would know? Nobody. So you're going to hear some more crinkly sounds. I didn't unwrap any of these. I kind of looked at them at the shop when they were there, and then I kind of put everything back. But I have all kinds of like random pieces. I'm not going to pull everything out because I just feel like at a certain point, like, you get what dishes are. And I can tell that a lot of these were like everyday dishes, probably. Like, whoever owned these loved the, loved the pattern and used them all the time, because they have a lot of wear to them. So they are gold rimmed, okay? Although, like, if you look on the picture, the gold is almost completely gone, okay? So like I said, probably a display piece, put some flowers in. I'm not gonna do that, but you could. I'm never that fancy, and my cats would probably eat the flowers anyway. But anyway, you can see that there's like some that have like some, you know, damage to the glaze, so now it's gotten kind of like yucky under there. But I'm thinking this one I could probably use to make some jewelry or something. So gotta think of these things. Okay. There's that. There's this, which is kind of like, I think it's a cake plate. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a cake plate. I would think it's a cake plate. It resembles one of those things that you put in your microwave that spins around with your microwave tray. Don't put these in the microwave, folks. They have gold on them. But I'm just saying that's what it reminds me of. It's got that little weird thing on the bottom. So I'm assuming this is a cake plate. But again, a lot of wear on that gold edging. So, which is fine. I mean, they're old. You know, they're like, sorry, my nose is itchy. 80, 90 years old maybe? Who knows? They could be even, like, you know, they could be newer than that. They could be older than that. I have no idea. One thing that I have to say that I do love about buying things is 98% of the time, maybe 99% of the time, if we buy a salt and pepper shaker from someone, Dollars for Donuts is going to still have the salt and the pepper in it. I don't know why that is, but it is. So these were super cute, and I was like all excited because I was like, oh yeah, they're so cute. This one's the pepper, it has the P. This one's the salt, it has the S, and a nice big chip. So I was like, oh, that's nice. This one isn't because obviously it's got the chip on it and there's no plug. But this one, the cork's in the bottom. I'll show you the big ones, like the stovetop ones are like full. But yeah, so, and this one's obviously been chipped long enough that it's got grease in the crack. So I was like, oh, okay, that's nice. Let me see. I do have the gravy boat. And this is not bad, although there is some like grease or oil seepage in through the bottom. So I don't know how much that affects the glaze or not, or, you know, the integrity of the piece, but, you know, I mean, like I said, they are old. Let's see. This one was kind of disappointing because in my world, cream and sugars are pairs. Now, people in the shop, they sell them independently. Like, oh, you can buy a creamer for $10. Oh, you can buy the sugar for $10. Aren't they a set? Like, that to me is weird. Like, why would I buy one and not the other? Regardless, the creamer is fine in this. And I was like, oh, yay, creamer. And it's like, oh, cool, the sugar. And the lid has been repaired. Can you see? I don't know if you can see that. I'll turn it this way. If you see that gloppy glue right there, that's where it's been repaired. So then I was like, oh, okay, so that's another 2-piece set piece thing that's, you know, not whole. So I was like, okay. So now, since I had only kind of taken a half-assed cursory glance at what the different pieces were, or like, you know, what the value was, I wasn't 100% sure, like, what the value was. And then I was thinking, okay, well, initially I thought, oh, okay, well, I can just keep it for myself, like I said, because, you know, I love the fall, I love the pattern, I think it's really pretty, blah, blah, blah. And then I started finding all the damaged pieces, and then I was like, these are all pieces, if I keep the set, these are all pieces that I now have to replace. So I was kind of like, But I do have the genie lamp teapot. And then this is the tea infuser thingy. And then the lid. And these are actually in pretty good shape. There is some wear to the gold, but that's to be expected. But I mean, as far as everything else, I mean, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. So that was that. And like I said, you know, I don't expect them to be 100% perfect. I mean, I don't, sorry if that's not, I don't consider myself an unreasonable human by any means. But I'm also not going to pay $300 or $400 for a set of dishes where I'm going to have to replace piece after piece after piece. You know what I'm saying? And then I have 2 of these casseroles. Does it say on here the size of them? No, just quality kitchenware. They're throwing us a bone here, people. Yeah, and these are in pretty good shape. You know, I mean, obviously they've been used, which is fine. I use my dishes. So I'm kind of on the fence, and maybe y'all can tell me, like, would you keep them or would you try to resell them? This one has like no gold at all on the rim, and I don't even know if it was ever meant to. This one has some gold on the rim. So it just seems kind of odd that like one piece would be completely gold free. And the stamps on the bottom are just slightly different. Slightly like more well worn. So, and that could just be that because one's older than the other. And that's another thing. And so like these sets, you know, where you collect the pieces over a period of time, sometimes, you know, they're different. They're not from the same generation of making or whatever. So that's that. But anyway, I have a lot of pieces. I have like the mixing bowls, I have a bunch of plates, I have teacups or coffee cups, whatever, and saucers. I have just a ton of pieces, and there's over 100 pieces. And so yeah, I'm trying to decide, like, should I keep them? Should I just sell them? I did not pay a lot for them. And you know, I know that they're, you know, that I got a really good deal because there is still enough that I could make several complete like place settings with what I have, like easily. So this is one of the very full salt pepper shaker. This was pepper. You got the cork there, but it's also been damaged there. And so I know I could definitely, you know, could make some money off of the set because, you know, we did not spend a ton on the dishes, but I do like them and I think they're really pretty. And, you know, that at some point they were obviously well loved. You know, they were someone's, this is so filthy inside. It's like so full of oil. And this is the salt, you know, and obviously it was something that someone had, you know, taken a lot of pride in. They love these. And so I'm torn. Like, should I keep them? Should I sell them? I don't know. So tell me what y'all think. Am I just, I know I'm always like super sentimental about things, even when things are not mine. Like, I just feel like everything has such a history, and I just, it's like my collection of pictures of people I don't even know. Someone sold their black and white family photos from like a billion years ago, and I just feel like they need a home, and so I keep them. But I do. I get really sentimental about stuff, and you know, it's a really cool history to the whole, like, you know, Jewel Tea Company, and you know, a bygone era of, you know, a service that we no longer even really would appreciate. Like, I think in some ways we probably would after COVID and lockdown and stuff, having somebody show up at your house and selling trinkets or dishes or, you know, what have you. But I think that'd be kind of cool. But I think it's such a throwback to a bygone era, and these are such good quality dishes. These are not like some of the others that I've seen that were bought with premiums. And you know, so there's that. They're really good quality, and they're beautiful pieces, and I do love the colors, that rusty reddish orange color, and then that goldenrod yellow. I think they're so pretty, and so I am very tempted to keep them. So anyway, tell me down below if you'd keep them, if you'd pass them on. I'm just curious, and I'm gonna go ahead and I will close it up here, because unless y'all are that interested in watching me unwrap all of this stuff. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I really appreciate you guys being here. I've been watching the subscriber count go up a little bit, and I'm super excited. Like, I appreciate each and every single one of you so much. I can't even begin to tell you. It means the world to me that you guys take time out of your day to watch my videos. Totally appreciate that. So if you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see more videos like this, please like, subscribe, comment down below. And as always, you know, do those things. To collect what you love what you collect, and thank you guys so much for being here. And I hope you all have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.